All right. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We keep getting teased with possible snow, and it doesn't happen. And I had a dream last night that we had like 4 inches of snow, and I woke up this morning and looked out the door. My wife called me. She was like, "You're like a little boy in like elementary school looking to see if he had snow or something like that." But there's no snow. No, I know.
But like you said, now snow days are because then we still have to go to school.
No, right. That's true. You don't really get snow days because we still have school. But, still, so I like snow. Has anyone ever been skiing before or snowboarding? Ever been? A couple of y'all? Okay.
I did last Saturday at 11 o'clock at night.
Nice. Last Saturday? Midnight skiing? Nice.
Couldn't see where
Did you do snowboarding or skiing? Snowboard, okay, yeah. I have been skiing many, many times. Really enjoy skiing. Haley Peaks isn't too far away. But I went snowboarding once, and I snowboarded for about 15 seconds because as soon as you turn, I went whap and hit my head, and I was like, done with snowboarding. Skis are easy because you just stand on them and you go just down, Pizza slice, and anyways. Pizza slice is where you put your skis like this, and everybody's like, what are you talking about, pizza slice? And it stops you. Anyways, I digress.
I was watching a video and they were talking about the pizza slice.
Yes, skiing and the pizza slice. Skylar knows what I'm talking about. So, we hopefully we'll get some snow at some point because I just like snow. I want to take my daughter and make a snowman and everything. So, we got snow the other day, but not enough to really do anything. So, let's get started here. We are going to continue our No Red Ink practice. You all should have finished your diagnostic yesterday, and you should know if you're testing out of that, if you got a 90 or better, or you should be working on the practices today. I have your notes for parallel structure linked in the agenda there. I mean, they are basically and literally the exact notes that you get from No Red Ink, but I put them all together so you don't have to go back and forth and click until you can find them while you're working on it. But those are available to you here. And really, parallel structure is a pretty simple concept, okay? It is essentially keeping the same elements in a consistent pattern, okay? For example, whenever you have a parallel sentence using a list here, you have Dave's favorite hobbies are kayaking, cooking, and painting. Well, some of you all want to change the flow of your writing, and sometimes we do this in when we talk, okay? But whenever we go back and read something out loud, it sounds awkward. Like this would be not parallel. Like Dave's favorite hobbies are Dave's favorite hobbies are kayaking, to cook, and painting. It doesn't flow. It kind of breaks up the rhythm, okay? And they give you examples of this with nouns, adjectives, infinitives, present tense verbs, clauses. So, I mean, like a complete thought here would be like, of the 3 contestants, Dave was the smartest, I was best looking, and Jane's talents impressed me. So, you're changing up, having a subject, a verb, and an adjective to a subject, verb, object, okay? So they just sound a little awkward, and this is trying to show you how to be a little bit more fluid in your writing. If you're getting stuck on one of these spots, okay, if you're at home, let me know. I can do a workshop. If you're here, I can come by and help you, or maybe we can share a screen or something like that. So we're going to take the first about 15 20 minutes tops to kind of get into the practice, make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. If you are done with No Red Ink, you can go ahead and start working on other assignments, or you can watch the news, or you can read. So take this time, and I will come back in about 15 minutes, and we will begin talking about what else we're working on today with our Locke versus Hobbes essay. So let's jump into No Red Ink, and I'll be back in about 15, 20 minutes to keep going with our assignments. All right, we are going to move on here. So go ahead and get out of No Red Ink and head back over to the agenda for today. And what we are going to do is we're going to continue working on what we were working on yesterday. I'm going to send out a message to everyone. So make sure if anyone's muted, they can see that. Okay, so what we are doing today is if you are not finished with the Hobbes versus Locke view on society poster assignment, where we're doing Hobbes on one side and Locke on the other side, you need to make sure to get that finished. If you are finished with that, or I talk to you about what you need to do next, you need to go on to number 3 and begin working on your essay, Locke versus Hobbes, okay? This is like a quiz or a test, okay, to kind of measure your understanding of the Enlightenment and these two thinkers, okay, and how they look at society, and they kind of balanced on what kind of government we needed and what kind of people we are. And the two big ideas here is Hobbes thought we needed what kind of government? Take a step back. Hobbes thought humans deep down were what?
Evil.
Cruel, evil, greedy, right? And he thought that we needed what kind of government? An absolute monarchy, okay? Or a absolute leader, or a tyranny, or something in which we do not have power, but one person has power to make decisions for us because we can't control ourselves, okay? On the other hand, we had Locke. And how did Locke look at humans? What did he think about them? Were you going to say something, Kai? Oh, a dictatorship is what Hobbes wanted. But Locke thought that humans deep down were what? Good, nice, had a noble purpose, wanted to work together, right? And what government did Locke want the people to have? A democracy. He thought that we were all equal and we equally wanted to do good and work together. So he blended and leaned towards democracy. Okay? So we've got Hobbes on one side where it's like only one person has power to make the decisions because humans can't make them on themselves, while Locke was on the very direct other side, and he wanted a democracy where everyone had the power. Okay? And everyone. Obviously, which way did the United States lean? Hobbes or Locke? Locke. Okay, we lean towards Locke because look at our founding documents talking about equality, talking about democracy, everyone having their power within the government. Okay, so let's look at this essay and look what we're expecting here. Okay, so we have also been working on our essay writing structure and been really working on trying to have a claim where we're saying, this, and then we're supporting that with evidence. So after you're done writing, you're going to go back and highlight and show me that you understand where these different sections are, okay? So this kind of also, so we got our history side of knowledge and thinking, and then we have our English writing side of it. So this is why you have these highlights. So let's talk about what this looks like. So for this essay, you will be comparing Locke and Hobbes concerning their view on society and specifically in the state of nature. That's the two things we've been reading for the last basically almost week now, okay? For this essay, you'll write a four paragraphs concerning the two philosophers. There is a blank template provided. However, use the following guide to write the essay. So the template that I have is just a blank Google Doc, okay? So it's blank, but you're going to use this as you write it. If you want to copy and paste this onto that blank Google Doc so you have to click back and forth, you're welcome to do that. I didn't want to do that, so it was in your way. But if you're a type of person that doesn't like clicking back and forth, just copy what's on here, paste it into the Google Doc, and then you can write it on top of it or under it or whatever. All right, so paragraph 1 is always our introduction, okay? In your introduction, you're going to introduce, and this is a informative essay. So you're just informing your audience about these philosophers. So introduce the philosophers, introduce and explain what the Enlightenment was. We covered this in our PowerPoint notes. The Enlightenment was a time in which people were challenging the ideas concerning what? What were they challenging ideas concerning? So the scientific revolution was looking at science and the way we look at ourselves in the universe. Enlightenment was challenging the ideas of what? Reason, good. Within what framework? So what have we been talking about? Humans and their role in what? Society, okay? So how we should behave in society. And then really, who should govern us, right? And what do we call that? Our what? The people who govern over us, govern the government, okay? So the Enlightenment is this time in which, and if you are sitting there going, oh, I don't remember talking about this, is a great time to write this down. So open up that Google Doc. I'm kind of walking you through this. So I would open up your Google Doc right now. It's a good chance for that. Open the Google Doc. Why are people just sitting there? Stop, not moving. Open the Google Doc. So paragraph 1, this is your opportunity to talk about what the Enlightenment was, okay? And we just discussed right now, we talked about this last week. Enlightenment was a time to look at how humans behave in society. It's also a time in which we are discussing and exploring what type of government we should have, okay? And we know that Hobbes is on one side and Locke is on the other. And to remind you, you can make this note. I'll slow down. And in your paper, don't forget, you're talking about how Hobbes thought humans were kind of evil, selfish, crude, violent, and Hobbes wanted a dictatorship or an absolute monarchy, one person with power, while Locke on the other side thought humans deep down were peaceful and kind and had a nobler purpose and wanted democracy, okay? So after you define what the Enlightenment is, you're going to look at and introduce what the state of nature is. And if in the Enlightenment we're looking at how people behave in society, why did these philosophers all talk about the state of nature? What was the state of nature? You can tell me what state of nature meant. What? Yeah, so it was a theoretical place in which there is no government. Okay, the state of nature is a time in which there is no government. And you want to explain that these philosophers looked at the state of nature to assess how humans would behave if there were no government. Okay? And if we can devise and declare how humans would behave with no government, that tells us what kind of control we need to have on them. What kind of government we need to stop that action or to promote that action. Hobbes wanted to stop the chaos. Hobbes wanted to lift up and provide for community, for sharing. Okay? So that's paragraph 1. You're going to introduce those ideas. Introduce the Enlightenment, state of nature, the thinkers. And whenever you define the Enlightenment, you're going to highlight that in green. Where you define the state of nature, you're going to highlight in blue or light blue. You don't have to match the colors exactly, but try to be close. All right, let's look at the second paragraph. So that's our first paragraph. Second paragraph, you want to provide information about how Hobbes views society and humans in the state of nature. This is your claim, okay? So you're going to blend this right into the second paragraph, and you're going to start by explaining how does Hobbes believe humans would act in the state of nature. We've already talked about that. Okay, this is your claim. Then you want to provide 2 examples with explanations from Hobbes' reading that we did. So this is where you're going to use that information, and you're going to quote or you're going to reference Hobbes' writing, okay? According to Hobbes' writing, he states that, so on and so forth, okay? And you can pull directly from those writings if you want. And you need 2 examples from the writing, okay? You're going to highlight this in pink. And guys, we're going to turn around and do the same thing for Locke, okay? You're going to provide information about how Locke views society, the state of nature, your claim. We talked about that just now. And then you're going to provide 2 examples with explanations from Locke's reading. So according to Locke's writing, he mentions that humans would, this is why they would act like this. Okay? You're going to highlight that in orange and red. So your claim in orange for Locke, and then your supportive evidence in red. And in your final paragraph, it's paragraph 4, we're going to talk about the impact of the thinkers. In the final paragraph, explain who had the biggest impact on the development of the United States and our society. We just said that answer, okay? We just talked about very clearly who had the bigger impact, okay? And provide 3 reasons why this philosopher had a bigger impact, okay? Got 3 reasons. And you're going to highlight those reasons in green. That's going to kind of be your concluding paragraph. All right, do we have any questions on this writing? Any questions on this essay? The due date is tomorrow, so you can get it started today. We have about 50 minutes left in class, 48 minutes, probably 45 minutes while I'm done talking. So half this class period, and then you have tomorrow, which Wednesdays are work days for you all, independent work days. So you have tomorrow, so this should be finished by the end of the day tomorrow, okay? And if you are, and I've talked to many of you all like this, chunk this, okay? Don't think about this as a whole paper. Look at each paragraph, and your goal should be today, have 2 of those paragraphs finished, okay? So you can do it tomorrow, work on and finish it tomorrow. Okay. Any questions? Yes, sir. Yes. So the question is, can we go out and get information from the notes, the reading, anything? Yes. You can even go out and do more research if you want to. I've provided everything you need, but if you want to go out and do more research, you're welcome to. Yeah. Now I'm not asking for a works cited on this. This time. But if you want to do one, you probably get extra credit for that. But you don't have to. All right, if there aren't any other questions, make sure I'm not muted because I didn't get any questions from anyone at home. We're good at home. All right, if you don't have any questions, if you're at home, you're free to log off. I'll be available if you have questions. I should be seeing you work on either the side-by-side poster or the paper. And both are due by the end of the day tomorrow. All right, get to work.